Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. I hope most of you have heard by now that 213 million of Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen's XRP were taken, particularly by some form of attack. If not, I have an update about the theft that happened yesterday that you may find interesting. We hope to discover the specific circumstances that led to this desire in the future, but for now, it is unclear what transpired. At the time, however, that was worth around $112.5 million. So it's not exactly chump change. Well, that's still not going to land him in the poorhouse, no matter how annoying or horrible it is. That's great news since he's worth $1 billion. So that's the deal. Nonetheless, this would really annoy me if I were in his shoes. It doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, being scammed never feels nice. However, a little grain of good news does exist. We have successfully recovered millions of XRP monies that were stolen. The details of this will be revealed to you by me. Even if the official figures aren't out yet, it certainly seemed that way to me. Plus, I have no idea how much of it will be revealed to the public. Even using just the information that is already accessible to the public via the XRP ledger, a public blockchain, it might be challenging to deduce the answer. Though I can't tell for sure, my best guess is that most, if not all, of the XRP was eventually sold, or at least a significant chunk of it. For the reason because, as you will see in a moment, some of it was retrieved and, in the end, frozen by a single exchanger who made a public statement about it. I should preface this by saying that I come from absolutely no financial background. Keep in mind that I am not a financial advisor. Also, listen, you shouldn't base your investments on what I say. Making movies on YouTube regarding cryptocurrency is something I like doing for fun and as a pastime. I'm simply an enthusiast. Thus, I present to you today's headline. Nance has frozen all the stolen XRP tokens. Once this is done, what comes next? One of the most prominent cryptocurrency exchanges in the world has frozen stolen XRP tokens worth around $4.2 million in reaction to a recent security breach involving Chris Larsen, co-founder of Ripple, as reported by Nance. You know, that's amusing because it reminds me of 2017 when exchanges could freeze XRP and any other cryptocurrency they had, like Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything. Even though I don't recall every detail, I do recall a time when this was happening. It's possible that the nasty Bitcoin maxi trolls were either ignorant or deliberately misinformed when they claimed that a significant portion of XRP was frozen, and that anybody could freeze their own XRP since it was centralized. It's not your keys or crypto, it's a centralized exchange that controls your Bitcoin wallet. Please don't be so foolish as to think otherwise. That took place here, I recall. In any case, this was only Nance's way of preventing the unlawful hacker or hackers, you know, the malicious hackers, from benefiting from their criminal actions. Consequently, this will eventually come back to him. Thus, the remainder of the essay is unnecessary for me to read. I will bypass the middleman and go right to the point. A post by Richard Tang is this. Binance, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world by volume, has a new chief executive officer. And his remarks from this morning, February 1st, are as follows. The Binance team has successfully frozen XRP worth $4.2 million that the exploiter had taken from Ripple, which is great news. They found out about the exploit early on. It's the following day, son, and I'm just going to halt to say that I was astonished that Binance CEO made the boo-boo Ripple. There was no theft of Ripple XRP. None of Ripple's assets were compromised in any way. And he stated that, and 185,000 people have viewed the message. This is why I wish to draw attention to it, among other things. That was eventually fixed, but wow, how on earth could he not see that before publishing this? From the very beginning, I am just amazed. This was obviously not the case. At least for the first few hours, I'm very certain that this is just a case of my memory completely failing me. Yesterday, when I uploaded a video, it was probably about 2 hours after the news had broken. I was quite confident I could tell it was Chris Larsen's even in the video. And here we are the next day. Well, that's just the way it is. He goes on. XRP, as always, performed an excellent job, and we are grateful to the community for their efforts and for bringing it to the attention of exchanges. Along with our efforts, the Ripple teams are working together. XRP is the one who first broke the news, which caused a little decrease in the price of XRP over the world, so there's a little break here. And it turns out that not everyone is pleased with him. We'll get to that in a while. In any event, as Binance CEO Richard Tang explains, we will back Ripple's investigations and attempts to recover the monies, which includes keeping a careful eye on the bulk of the funds in the exploiters' external wallets in case they try to deposit them to hurt us. I must halt for a moment. My goodness, I am unable to control the amount of remark I have. So, I'm sitting here wondering, are you really informing the exploiter of your approach and being aware of it? Do you think that's good? Will imply, you may as well just say a few things. Have you gone over that section? Alright, then. Now that you've frozen, there's almost no possibility that the exploiter you're referring to would transfer XRP to your frozen wallet. Yes, I do comprehend that. However, making such statement publicly will not improve the problem. May they be observing? Maybe they're simply not that dim. All they are is terrible, horrible individuals, and there's only one person who knows about them. At any rate, he concluded by assuring everyone that our staff is committed to ensuring the environment remains secure. This is why we always encourage projects and users to contact us when they encounter problems like these. Thomas Silkair, whose real name is Jared, is the XRP Ledger Foundation's head of analytics and compliance. He understands what he's talking about when it comes to that. Additionally, he thanked Nance CEO Richard Tang for his prompt and responsible response. The first confusing part of this tweet is that it doesn't specify if the stolen accounts are Ripple accounts or Chris Larsen's personal ones. 2. The XRP Ledger Foundation started the inquiry while it was occurring, so it wasn't released recklessly. The next day, I saw it at XRP, and I thought, okay, alright. Initially, the XRP Ledger Foundation was operating in stealth mode, perhaps to avoid attracting the attention of the criminal. Then XRP makes his debut, which sends shockwaves across the world. Approximately 2.2 million people have seen his message thus far. This is why Thomas Silkair is arguing that, unlike XRP, we did not recklessly post it on social media. He seemed to be rather unhappy about it, which is an interesting viewpoint. Thirdly, after the full transfer of data, Ripple is now spearheading the inquiry on Chris's behalf. If you happen to miss the first postings from XRP, this is an 8:05 a.m. that started it all. You can see them here. At this same instant, the price of XRP began to plummet. By observing the screen 2.2 million times, you can discern the spot where I am encircling the master. It's done. He also said that 213 million XRP seems to be the starting point for Ripple. I feel compelled to provide some commentary on this matter. It was in its infancy. Additionally, I used this in my video. When individuals were being purposefully deceptive, I would give them a hard time. Quite rightly, too. As if you were implying that XRP might be compromised in and of itself. Furthermore, I find it problematic when individuals claim an XRP hack occurred. We use the same term Bitcoin hack when an exchange is compromised. When that happens, people will realize that you aren't implying that the Bitcoin blockchain was compromised. However, I have issue with anybody who knowingly misleads in that manner. I was resisting that very thing. You know, it's just our casual way of speaking, and it's pretty much universal, you know? Would be unable to recall each time a hypothesis has been compromised. An Ethereum hack is what we term it. Yeah, the blockchain wasn't that either. Consequently, there are those who are losing it over the claims that an XRP hack has occurred. I just disagree, and I do so politely. I just do not share that viewpoint. As far as you and the majority of users are concerned, when someone says there was an XRP hack, it implies that XRP was stolen from a wallet or wallets. And someone took it. I see. The hacking incident resulted in its theft. I believe it's obvious to everyone. That is my own opinion on the matter, regardless of whether it's a Bitcoin hack, an Ethereum hack, or an XRP attack? Allow me to explain. According to XBT, there is a valid explanation for this. He was under the impression that the firm had been compromised. However, Ripple was no longer an issue after Chris Larsen's involvement became apparent. You can see Chris Larsen on the screen. I'll just make a huge mistake and pretend you don't need to read this. A day ago, I perused it. It was only my money, however, says Chris Larsen. Ripple was not compromised. XBT reposted the message, but his only update was when Chris Larsen, co-founder and executive chairman of Ripple, confirmed the breach. This confirms something else entirely, that Chris Larsen was hacked, rather than the Ripple hack, as you said. That is why he never did address the matter. The one thing that annoys me about XBT is that, after it was obvious that he had reprinted Chris Larsen's content, he failed to acknowledge the significance of this one error and apologize. Now tell me why he was incorrect. At the end of the day, he did clarify this. The argument began around 6:36 p.m. last. In a snippet, he said that the RJ and LZ3 accounts were marked in the XRP scan, and the entity Ripple is exploring the XRP block. Curiously, Chris Larsen is mentioned as both a co-founder and executive chairman of Ripple, yet the community notice fails to mention this. He confirmed his suspicions by doing an XRP block explorer scan, specifically, the BitHub XRP scan, on the compromised account he had previously researched. The reason he said that it seems like Ripple is hacked is because it was classified as such. In fact, he was vague. Okay, that's fair, he replied, I can go broad with it because it's associated with Ripple's. In my opinion, he was acting in good faith when he attempted to disclose the knowledge. The one time I thought, oh my god, don't be sneaky about this, was when it was discovered that, despite the title, it was really Chris Larsen's net Ripple. It was indeed, as you can see by expanding it to full screen, called a Ripple. Once again, I would have preferred it if he had said it from the beginning. Unauthorized access to Chris Larsen's personal XRP accounts happened yesterday. However, according to community notes on social media site X, Ripple was not hacked. Wallets on Ripple are safe, separate from Ripple exchanges, and the police have been informed. All Ripple wallets remain secure. The community notice is reasonable, in my opinion, as the fix was necessary. It was not provided by XBT. Alright then. Yeah, I see your point. Regardless of whether XCBT is acting honestly, he was incorrect and failed to rectify his own error. That is all. Then there's the subsequent. These were Chris Larsen's personal wallets that were compromised. Thomas, chair of the XRP Ledger Foundation, sent me the remarks that I shared with you a few minutes earlier. Richard Tang, CEO of Nance, answered and said that he appreciated Thomas's observations on the phrasing above. Not to mention, the XRP Ledger Foundation deserves additional credit for their outstanding effort on this matter. That is encouraging. It makes me happy that he recognized it. I can't believe he was that careless as Binance CEO to fail to see that it wasn't Ripple but rather Chris Larsen, but well, it is what it is. Even though Chris Larsen had his XRP accounts attacked and stolen from him, it in no way implies that the XRP that Ripple owns and retains is insecure. I blogged about it this evening at 6:53 p.m. Central Time. For the life of me, I can't fathom how some people's minds work to draw connections between the two. It is absurd. Everyone considers this. It makes no difference to me who among the Ripple staff, board members, or executives falls victim to the hack. Really, I do care if they are compromised. To him, it is something I abhor. What I mean is that the fact that one person or a small group of people at Ripple loses XRP due to a hack does not reflect the way the firm handles its own XRP assets, whether it be an escrow account or not. Can you see the distinction? In what ways were these brains able to calculate in such a way? Nothing about it makes any sense at all. I don't have the substance, people say. What hope does Ripple have for Rob Peters in Paris when Chris Larsen can't even secure his own XRP? Personally, I get that impression. The voices are those. I had that impression of all the presenters. I believe so. I find that completely absurd. It is very illogical. After that, I put down on paper my incredulity at the hacking of Chris Larsen's XRP accounts. If he ever decides to make that information public, I have no idea. However, I see why people could be interested. I really hope he tells others about it, since it might save them from becoming a victim of the same scam. I pray that the authorities find and punish those guilty for the theft, and that he is able to recover the money. So, here's hoping that additional information will be revealed in the future, even if it won't be published on this channel. We do know that there is XRP worth $4.2 million, which, at 50 cents each, indicates that there are around 2.1 million XRP out of a total of 213 million XRP. That doesn't rule out the possibility of future conceptions, however, for starters, we will determine its identity via legal and law enforcement endeavors. In such case, you may be able to recover most, if not all, of your investment. Beyond that, you should know that XRP ended up on a plethora of different exchanges. It seems that a significant amount was moved to other currencies, even though it was locked, and the conversion was unsuccessful. It seems to have been sold. The way it is fine. That's the most recent development, but we'll have to wait and see. Well, that's all I have to offer. I am not professionally trained to advise people on their financial matters. Nothing I say should influence your purchasing or selling decisions. Always, I ask that you like and subscribe. See you soon, bye.